Dr. Jeff DIY here. Psst, I've got a secret. A dirty secret. My Jeep has a leak. Shocking, I know. Before changing the transpan gasket, I wanted to see if I could at least change the ATF, which led me to two controversies. Do I measure the ATF level in park or neutral? And will changing the ATF hurt my transmission? First, I wanted to try to find the source of the leak. It was totally grimed up and hard to tell what was leaking and what was just spilled from somewhere else. I used this gunk foam engine cleaner. It worked okay. Looks like the source wasn't at the dipstick entry or at the cooler line entry, but maybe at the gasket. However, the culprit may be the dreaded rear main seal. First, I inspected the ATF. It's brown, but it also smells, indicating it is not good. Now to drain the ATF. It's a 14mm. The plug has a cool reminder for Dexron too. Years of this leaking and the valve cover from above, which I fixed in another video, see the link above, could have been enough to cause this mess. I'm not ready to do the rear main seal yet, and I don't want to replace the transpan gasket just to get it covered in oil from the rear main leak, so I decided for now to just change the ATF. The torque spec is 15 to 25 foot-pounds. Now let's get into how to check the ATF level. First, get the Jeep up to operating temp. Check. Then get the Jeep level. Check. Third, the engine needs to be on. Fourth, shift through all the gears and then leave it in park. But the dipstick says neutral. What does the service manual say? Park. But neutral too? Ah! Now let's shift through all the gears. I ended up leaving it in park to do my initial test. But later I switched to neutral as well to get a reading there. Here I'm getting an estimate of how much I'm going to need to replace. I got about 2 3/4 quarts, which is less than predicted. This might be because the gasket is leaking, or it could be that the trans cooler lines at the radiator are leaking, which I can tell here, and that's yet another project I need to do. So let's fill them up now. I couldn't find Dexron 2, so I called the Valvoline number and got a real person on the line who was helpful, and they told me to use this stuff. Here's a look at the new and the old. I added some, but I'm still a bit low. I added some more, and now while checking in park, I'm reading okay. Here I changed to neutral, and it looks like I'm okay, but not quite full. That's interesting. So at least in my observation, it seems that when you check in neutral, it reads a lower reading than when in park. Now, for controversy number 2, will changing the ATF hurt your vehicle? Maybe, and it depends. If the vehicle has a good transmission and the ATF has been changed as scheduled, you're safe. My Jeep is old, and the fluid was not great, so theoretically removing the old fluid and the microbits in there could cause slipping and malfunction. But I'm only removing a portion of the total volume, and it's actually recommended to change the ATF periodically. All I can say is that I did it in my own Jeep and nothing bad happened. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like so it's easier to find by others. Please consider subscribing. This is Dr. Jeff DIY. I'll see you the next time something breaks.